So imagine that you want to build a house. You're picking paint swatches and couch colors and little decor things for the wall. Wait a second. Is that how you build a house? I don't think so. That's not how you build a house. You build a house from the ground up, and then you build walls, and then you build a roof and all that stuff, and then you get to the nice couch with the cozy area for the sun where your kids are playing out of earshot and you're reading a glorious book. Just me? Probably just me. So there's a point to the story. Don't click off this video. What I wanted to say is there's so much about organization and decluttering and minimalism and all that kind of stuff on the internet, on YouTube. I just wanted to ask why. What is this organization providing you? Is it providing peace of mind? Is it providing systems? Yes, but it's also providing a foundation so that you can move on with your life. So I talk a lot about organization on this channel, of course I do, and I love it, but I want you to always focus on why. So if you're new here, my name is Julie and I teach moms and people how to organize their lives, schedule their time in order to focus on what matters most for them and their families. So go ahead, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, like this video, and let's get started on one of the foundational pieces. So today, as the title will suggest, we are going to be organizing my little bathroom that I have in New York City and that I share with my husband. And this is something that I wanted to do to provide inspiration, to provide some tips, to go through my organizational strategy and kind of step-by-step guide that I think is really helpful when you are trying to tackle a new space. If you're watching this during pandemic 2020, this is a perfect time to get everything in order, to set up your systems, to set up your foundation, and to make sure that you avoid the, honey, where's my toothbrush? Where did you move it? Kind of question that you inevitably get from your partner. At least that's what happens in my house regularly. So if you want more information about some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, go down to the description box. I'll have guidelines for keeping products and how long you should keep them for, how often things should be cleaned, medications, all this kind of stuff. And remember that the reason we're doing this, also from a practical level, yes, peace of mind, but also we want to make sure that we're storing medications away from kids, that they're easily accessible, that you can just see everything that you have, that you're not wasting money by buying multiple things. We have so many razors for my husband because he doesn't know where they are and then he just buys more. And those things are expensive, man. And yeah, we don't need more of those in the house. And that's an example of how once you streamline the process and organize a little bit better, you can really find everything and not waste money and time and mental effort. Oh my goodness. Oh, but this is crazy. This is nuts. Wait, you can't see anything. I promise you, it's crazy. Look at this. Oh my God. My husband just walked in and said this gives him anxiety. Okay, so things that I was really struggling with and which led me to really need to re-examine my bathroom. I don't think I've really organized it again since moving into our apartment 5 years ago. So things that I was struggling with. I didn't know what we had. I was buying multiple things of the same thing, especially skincare, holy moly. And skincare is really expensive and also has a shelf life. So if you don't, especially the stuff I was buying, more natural, organic, it does expire. So it needs to be kept in a specific place, in a cool environment, and it will go bad if you don't use it up. And it's, yeah, such a waste of money if you're just throwing it all out. We were struggling, my husband was struggling to find things, if I'd move things around, or if something didn't fit, I would move it somewhere. Whilst we do not by any means have the smallest bathroom in New York City, it's a fairly good size for an apartment. It's still, you know, it's not like a house bathroom. There's still limitations to what we can store in there. And we have to be very strategic because we have little kids. So what do we put in the bottom cabinets? We don't really have enough storage to not use them, but I also don't want my kids going through my things and taking out little bottles and lotions and potions and trying things like the kids try the craziest things. They'll drink the craziest things. You have to be really careful. Even our medicine cabinet, which is above our toilet, my 5-year-old will climb up and the 2-year-old will climb up onto the toilet and just open the medicine cabinet because it doesn't lock or anything. So I needed to find some kind of solution where I could find a compromise without bringing in too much new stuff. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I don't like to reorganize by buying new containers and things. I really want to use what I have already and see if I can creatively solve that problem before introducing more things into my house. So I have a lot of videos with that in mind. But you know, I needed to try and figure out how we can maximize space, make sure we can see everything, because we were hiding stuff on the top of the mirror. We were hiding things, and then I forgot they were there because I can't see them, and then I'm having to like feel for them. It's not really the most ideal thing. So those are some of the things that we were really struggling with, which prompted me to have to think about this from the beginning. Okay, so I don't know if this is the best time to start decluttering my bathroom because it's kind of late at night, but you know what? It's never gonna be a great time. I'm just gonna try and do as much as I can. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. I have wool, yarn, whatever you wanna call it. I have random, like there's cleaning products, there's medicines, the usual stuff you would find in a bathroom, my hairdryer things. I mean, it's kind of just all mixed up, and I really wanna find a better way to organize things. We also have this, you can see up there. So we have this like amazing long mirrored cabinet, except the middle of it, so the majority of it is actually not a cabinet, so we can't store stuff in there. But then we end up putting things like on the top here, and we totally forget about them, and then we end up buying double of things like band-aids or Tylenol or something like that, because we've kind of hidden it away from the kids. So I'm trying to prevent that. I'm gonna like get some stuff going in the laundry, towels, whatever. And today's actually a great day to be decluttering my bathroom because I gave my husband a quarantine haircut. Never thought I would do that. And the kids were playing with my makeup, and oh my goodness, so everything is all over the show. So it's a good day to start decluttering, and I want to encourage you that even if it's like you can only dedicate 15 minutes or something, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. That's 15 minutes better than nothing. So don't give up. All right, if there's a project you want to do it. So with any organization project, what I try and do is try and take everything out of the bathroom cabinet. To me, that would be first prize. If you don't think that you can do that, obviously you can do it section by section, and that might be less overwhelming for you. But if you're trying to overhaul the whole thing, you may want to just take everything out and just see what it's like. Because I have like medicine and then like non-medical items, I kept those in a separate box so that I can start putting things back as I go through them all. Especially with medicine, you need to check expiry dates and all this kind of stuff. So I kind of, even though I took everything out of the bathroom, I had things in separate containers so that I could just group them together and then put them back like that. So that brings me to my next point, which is if you're feeling overwhelmed, put like with like so that you know that all the medicine is in one spot, because I promise you that if you had to go through your house or your apartment, you will probably find things that could be in the bathroom, in the kitchen, or in a kid's room, or somewhere else, and vice versa. It's just the nature of how we operate as human beings. So it might be helpful, once you've kind of gone through your bathroom, assign specific zones for different things that you go throughout your home quickly, do a quick little audit, and if you find anything that should be bathroom related in this example, then you go put it there. Another tip that I always do, and I've mentioned in a lot of videos, is if you think that you're going to get interrupted and you can't finish what you need to do, have a container that you put everything in, that you can just put up on a high shelf or out of the way from your kids or whoever, and then get to it when you can. This also solves a double purpose of helping you self-select what you really need. Because if you put stuff away in a container and you don't need it, or you forget about it, that kind of shows you that maybe it's not priority. Look, some things you will only use once a year or twice a year, and that's fine, especially when it comes to medication. Hopefully you're never really needing to use it, but you still need to have something in the house just in case for that situation. But there are other things that maybe you're like a hair product, or I don't know, like some jewelry that you just don't even know about, and maybe that could go to somebody else and they could make use out of it when you're not really even using it. But don't worry, I have a plan. I've been cleaning everything so that it can all dry by the time I put stuff back. I'm finding things that I never expected to find. I'm gonna try to sort out things so that I don't have wool and cross stitch. Does anyone know what cross stitch is? Does anyone have a cross cross-stitched before. I have these things in my bathroom that I've had for years, and I never use them because I forget about them and I have children, but that's fine. No excuses. So I'm gonna make things more visible and put things in the right place. I'm gonna stack like with like I usually do. Get this going because I want to go to bed tonight. If you share a bathroom with somebody like I do, make it easy for them. If they're not as organization ninja crazy as you are, me in this case, avoid fights and disagreements by having everything that they need ultra visible, super easy. Maybe you have your stuff hidden a little bit more because you don't mind going to find it and you know where it is, but their stuff is really visible and really easy for them to get. They don't need to ask you where the hairbrush is or whatever. Okay, so things are looking a little less overwhelming. I mean, I guess it depends what angle you're looking at. At least I can see the floor now. And I guess I'm struggling with a few things. I have to factor in that my husband and I share this bathroom and he needs to be able to find things, and I want to avoid a fight of like, where is this? Especially finding a hairbrush during quarantine because now his hair is long. And although I just cut it, as I said. And the other thing is I have little kids and they want to get into bathroom cabinets. So I need to make sure that they are not finding things that I don't want them to get into, like maybe jewelry or anything sharp or medicine or anything like that. And I want to have my products and the things that I use right front and center so that I don't forget, because that's also what happens, is that you forget that you're using something and you know, then you go buy something else or it expires and you've wasted it. So I'm kind of factoring in for a lot of things. A tip that I have for feeling overwhelmed when kind of you're in this situation and you're like, I don't even know where to begin, is I always put back the stuff that I definitely need first. So if it starts the ball rolling, toothpaste, toothbrush, moisturizer, dental floss, things that you definitely will need, which is pretty easy to do in a bathroom. And then the ifs, I kind of put in a separate pile and see if I have space for them. So I'm gonna try to do that and I'll be right back. Command hooks are your friend, or some kind of hook that you can use to utilize the vertical space. So I really like command hooks. I wish there was a non-plastic option. There are little metal versions. But for now, I try to use them very mindfully, and they have provided a lot of value in our home. So I use them in the bathroom all the time because it just takes pressure off the shelves to have things hanging up. And so I used some command hooks to help me organize a few things that needed to hang, and that was really useful. And you can also hang things that you don't necessarily think about, like my hairbrush has a little hole on the end of it so that I can put a piece of string in it and hang it up, and then that way it's out of the way, it's not getting tangled in everything else, and it's so easy to find. Command hooks, love them. I just added a piece of string to this brush so that my husband will always be able to find it, and I think I'm going to put all of his things front and center so that he can start using up the millions of razor blades that he has. But let's be honest, he doesn't really need to be cleaning up too much these days, you know what I mean? So here is the finished cabinet that we arguably use the most. I'm actually kind of happy. Like, I used some command hooks to hang up razors, which never thought of before. My husband's using 2 deodorants. He needs to just, both of them are like nearly done. I'm like, oh, just use it. And then over here, gotta clean all that up, but I just kind of put all the things that are sort of our spares right at the forefront. So in this one, because it's transparent, I have like a new deodorant, foundation, I'm trying to think, like a few just bits and bobs that I can see so that I don't go purchase them again. We have some shampoo, so many razors, which are all sealed, so I don't think the kids can get to them. Spare toothbrushes, soap, toothpaste, and I want it to be super easy for my husband to find so that there's no ifs and buts about it. So by starting over, evaluating your space, doing it properly, you're probably gonna knock out like 5 or 6 pain points right there, just in your bathroom, which is something that you use, a room that you use multiple times a day and that multiple people probably use. So that will really provide a lot of peace of mind for people, even if they don't realize it. It's kind of like a computer that has multiple applications open and that's trying to run, and it's like, and it's trying to run and trying to run and trying to run, and then once you close those applications, it's so smooth, and maybe you didn't even realize that you were struggling so much, but this really sorts things out and just brings you a little bit of peace and mental clarity, which is priceless in my opinion. The other thing that I feel like this helps with is my gold coin strategy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video talking about this, but basically I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but you have a certain amount of coins that you can spend, let's just say with your mental energy, and you need to decide how many coins you want to be spending on trying to find a hairbrush or toothbrush or a pair of tweezers in your bathroom. For me, minimal coins. I want to spend my coins on something a lot more meaningful. So if you want to hear more about that, go and watch my 5 ways to simplify your life video, which I will link above here and in the description bar below. If you found this video helpful in any way, please take a second to like the video, click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and this helps me know what kind of videos you guys would like. Don't forget to leave that in the comments down below. I would love to know what you would like me to declutter before and after next, and how I can add value to you so that you can focus on the foundation and then start building your house.